today talking to Ross White, asking a few questions just about film festivals. You are obviously the director, writer and producer of Oscar-winning film An Irish Goodbye. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Camera's rolling. Rolling as well. 3, 2, 1, action.
So, in terms of your career and your progression within the film industry, how do you feel like film festivals have helped you in that?
I mean, festivals are just crucial, especially with short film. You know, you're sort of it's about as independent film can get. You know, myself and my collaborator, we didn't go to film school, so we sort of came into this very green to it all, and festivals were a huge part of learning, seeing other great shorts and seeing how it's sort of done, networking and meeting other filmmakers, you know, making those connections. And filmmaking can be quite a sort of, you know, you're all focused on your own projects, so when you finally do finish it and get the chance to share work and be around other filmmakers, it's such a great chance to sort of have that community, you know, and that feeling of solidarity and understanding what it's like to be making a short film when you're up against it with budget and time and everything, all these tricky things that you'll know yourself. I guess in terms of getting the film out there, you know, getting in front of audiences, it's one thing to write it and then to make it, and you sort of feel proud of it, but it's not really a finished film until it's with a big room of people looking at it. And having that platform and having that feedback as well, you know, whether it's a comedy and being able to hear where it lands and where it sits, or if it's a horror film, seeing how it's spooking people, you know, but in any film, you're sort of, it's only when you're with people and getting the gauge of how it's actually resonating with them that you can feel what you've really done. And yeah.
And why do you think film festivals are so important, both for independent filmmakers like yourself and for student filmmakers like us?
I think because, you know, you don't have the backing of a big studio, you don't have a big sort of a cinema rollout plan, you know, it's the chance to show work at a festival in person, in a theatre, in a cinema, on the big screen. For you as an artist, it's really crucial to sort of see how that will read on the big screen, but also for audiences to see different things. You know, I always think about festivals from the perspective of a filmmaker, but actually some of my most enjoyable sort of watching experiences of films have been at festivals. You see things that you might not see down at your sort of local plex or whatever. You know, you see things that are a bit more independent by nature, and it gives those films a platform and a chance, and those filmmakers. And also, you know, sometimes the artists are there, you hear a bit of a Q&A or a bit of a conversation about the work as well. And yeah, it's just a wholesome kind of thing for film lovers to come together and celebrate both the makers, the audiences, people who just really care about cinema and you know, enjoying it.
So what was your experience like submitting films to film festivals? Obviously for a few of them there's a monetary aspect to that. Did you have to be quite strategic about which ones you choose to put your films into?
Yeah, I mean that's the tricky thing with festivals, you know, because they do get so many submissions, you know, they've got to charge a sort of a submission fee, and it's really hard when you've got a tight budget to try and know even where to begin, which ones might accept it, which ones are a total sort of punt into the darkness. So we had to do a lot of research, you know, looking up and trying to sort of, I guess, realise what type of film you've made, what type of films a festival often takes. But you know, it is tricky in terms of the budget thing. You've just got to, you know, do what you can and try and find the festivals that will most benefit you. You know, festivals you can attend is a great thing. But as I say, you know, so much of that networking and the opportunities. It's great to have your festival play all over the world. You know, we've been very fortunate to have films An Irish Goodbye playing, you know, internationally. But really, the festivals that we've been able to actually go to in person, meet filmmakers, hear the audience feedback, that's the most worthwhile.
So you're saying about international versus more local film festivals. Have you been able to attend a few international ones? Do you notice a difference between showing An Irish Goodbye to American, Canadian, English audiences compared to showing it in a more local setting in Ireland?
I think we're blessed, like here in Ireland, with the festivals we've got. We really have got, you know, for a comparatively small place, we've got so many brilliant ones on our doorstep. You know, as I say, you've got Galway, you've got Foyle, you've got Belfast, you've got Cork. I've started these and I'm going to forget loads of them, but there's so many. I mean, Fastnet Film Festival in Scotland, there's just so many brilliant ones that just have this really lovely, generous energy that you would expect in an Irish kind of festival, you know, where it's kind of community feeling. You know, different ones have got totally different feelings. Some of the bigger ones have got a bit more of that kind of red carpet strange thing, which, listen, isn't my bag entirely. It's a bit less personal. I've always loved the festivals where you feel like you're sort of thrown into the deep end. You're with the audiences waiting in line. We went to Telluride Film Festival in Colorado for the premiere of The Golden West, which was our third short film, and that was just amazing. It was a bit like an Irish film festival in a weird way. It's a huge festival, you know, it's its 50th year, but it has this very it's a very small town. It has a very personal feel to it. You're sort of walking down the main street there and seeing like these famous filmmakers and star actors, and nobody's got any airs and graces about them. It's just sort of, we're there to enjoy this and enjoy the work. So I think that kind of festival is particularly special when they can kind of curate that. You know, festivals are this strange little thing where you come together for a weekend or a week or 2 weeks, and you just pause life for a little while. You kind of step away from the laptop or the set, and you're really in the moment watching movies, you know, sometimes 3, 4, 5 movies a day. It's a privilege to be able to go to them and do that and enjoy them. So I think the ones that can create that really interpersonal kind of easygoing atmosphere have always been my favourites.
Create that community of
absolutely
film lovers really does make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, filmmakers were film lovers first, you know what I mean? So you're sort of amongst audiences and you're all enjoying things, and you're, you know, at Telluride when we went in September 23, we got to see so many great stuff that was premiering there, and you know, we're seeing stuff before anybody else gets to see it, and you feel the privilege of that, and you feel how special it is to be there to see a nervous filmmaker. You know, Emerald Fennell was there with Saltburn. You know, we saw the world premiere of that at Telluride, and she was there feeling nervous, and it was sort of reassuring to see, you know, these brilliant filmmakers who are there feeling the same things you feel when you're sharing your work for the first time. You know, The Holdovers, we saw that Alexander Payne's film. He was there doing an introduction, and it was just, you know, it's such a treat.
In terms of the process of independent filmmaking, what's that process like? Kind of starting with that one idea in your head and then getting that idea to screen.
It takes ages. That's the main thing. You know, it's bizarre how long that takes, even with a short film sometimes. But you know, I work with a collaborator, as I've said, Tom Barclay, and we've sort of worked together through all of our films now. And having that other person, you know, we literally write together, direct together, produce together. But even if that's just you're a writer director and you've got a producer, having people around you who you can sort of shoot the breeze with, sort of share ideas with, I think that's crucial in the first instance. And then it's just finding something that you care about enough that you know that, as I say, 2-3 years down the line, when you're still there chatting about it, you're going to have that the hunger and the excitement about it still.
About it.
Exactly, making sure it's going to sustain you basically throughout the many seasons of writing the thing, prep on the thing, shooting the thing, post-production, film festival. You know, it is a long journey, hopefully, with a short film and with any film and with any piece of work really creatively. So you're just looking for something that excites you in that way. And then comes the terrible fun time of trying to raise money and trying to get things together, and you know, all independent filmmakers, short film, feature film, at every level know what it's like to ask folks for money to make a film. It's hard. So having something that you care about enough that when you're sort of knocked away, you're not going to get too down on yourself. You're going to really believe in the idea enough that you can pick yourself back up, you know, dust yourself off and go again and try and find somebody else to speak to.
For someone who maybe hasn't been through the process of film festivals before, would you recommend that, of submitting their films into the festivals?
Yeah, I think, you know, submitting to film festivals is crucial for young filmmakers. I think, as we were saying, you don't want to get caught up with having to submit to hundreds and sort of wasting all your money or whatever you've got. Be focused, be direct, find the ones that you think are going to give you the best outcome and maybe resonate with your work. But no, film festivals, not just for the competition side of it, you know, it's hard to kind of quantify art and put it in competitions, but to just get you out there, to get you introducing yourself and your work and meeting other filmmakers, you know, and finding collaborators. We've often found loads of our collaborators at festivals just by, you know, you'll see a short film and you'll remember, oh, I love the way that looked, who shot that, or I love those costumes were amazing for that budget, you know, who did that. So you sort of do start to build up this kind of little IMDb in your own head, this Rolodex of people who you will come back to, and it becomes this point of reference. So I think film festivals, not just for the obvious, opportunity to exhibit your work, but also just to be amongst other film folks. It's a must. You can't really. I don't see how you would do it without sort of engaging with the film festival circuit.
No, absolutely.
Pick up, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I can give you as a little soundbite about film festivals. You feel happy enough with everything you got? Yeah.
I'm happy, yeah.
Lovely, lovely jobby, yeah. Was that 20 minutes? I was chatting load of nonsense for 20 minutes. God bless you, when you got 5 minutes.
Great.
Listen, goodness me, I'm glad somebody does. You guys and my mum. That's about it.